Alright, let me start the stream and post it on Facebook real quick. No, he is not streaming. I am streaming.
Alrighty.
Alright, live streams. Come on. Oh, good. It's actually working just how I wanted it to. Perfect. Oh, good. It's actually working. There we go. Share Facebook. I can't believe our favorite stalker returned.
Oh, yes. Briefly, for a moment.
Yeah. Did you ban him, or did you block him?
No. I just kept deleting the comment thread.
I was wondering how long that was going to take for him to give up or not. I'm surprised it took him that long. Let me share this to my normal page. And there we go. Alright.
Alright.
And we will... Oh, let me start my local recording. And come on. By the way, thanks for turning me on to OBS, by the way.
Oh, yes. OBS is great.
Yeah, it definitely has some rather significant advantages over other software.
Yep.
All right, and we will go live in 3, 2. Welcome to Quit Your Whining Live. Joining me joining me this week, Alex Jowski.
Hello.
And if you want to join in, contact me at Admiral Joker on Skype as always. All right, this week we're going to be talking about the Trump trans ban. Now, Jowski, you're kind of familiar with the trans ban, right, in the military that Trump announced earlier this week?
Yes. Yes.
Now, I looked into this a little bit, and I understand, just so for those folks at home that don't know, apparently Donald Trump decided to enable what they called, or decided that trans people who are transgendered can no longer serve in the military. The primary reason... go ahead.
He created this policy on Twitter. He actually didn't send an email to anybody or meet anybody. He just did this on Twitter.
Yeah, he just did it on Twitter, which seems to be how Donald Trump does policy now. Twitter.
That's why all the Joint Chiefs of Staff are like, not until we've sat down with Mr. Trump and, you know, the Secretary of Defense will this be policy, because we don't take orders from Twitter.
Who's on vacation. Oh, and let's not... And he also has a tendency to bash his Secretary of...
well, everybody.
Oh, no. Who's he? Sessions. His Attorney General. He's been bashing the shit out of him lately, too. Yeah. His people in his own administration he's beating the crap out of. But the big controversy is Trump wanting to...
He's toying with firing him. I'm like, damn, you fought so hard for him.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I like Jeff Sessions. I don't think he's a bad guy. I've studied the guy's career quite a bit. I followed him for many years. I actually think he's a pretty good guy. A lot of people bring up, you know, he was against... he's a racist person. Let's also remember this is a guy who pretty much eliminated the KKK in Alabama.
Yeah.
In his home state, you know, racist. Yeah, just saying. Anyways, so the Trump trans ban. Now, Trump's logic for this is that he wants to get rid of the ban. He wants to keep him out of the military because of the rule that was put, or the rule or law that was put in place that allowed transgenders to get sexual reassignment surgery when they joined the military. Now, personally, I'm totally okay with not allowing that. Are you okay with them allowing that kind of surgery in the military? Because personally, I see sexual reassignment surgery as more being an elective thing, not really a, you know, necessarily a health related thing.
Yeah, that's cosmetic, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And this would be the equivalent of me saying I want to get a nose job, or I go into the military and want to get liposuction. I can't do that.
I know a woman that got a boob job that way.
She got a boob job in the military, or she used the money she got from the military to get the boob job?
She was in the military and got it from the military.
Yeah.
She got it done with military benefits while serving in the military.
Like using their health insurance plan?
Yes.
Did she have to pay anything out of pocket?
Correct. She didn't pay anything out of pocket.
Okay, that should not happen.
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm sorry. That's the first I've ever heard of that. That should not be allowed. Seriously, you should not be allowed to get cosmetic surgery unless you're, if you're blown up in an IED or injured in the line of duty, that's a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, your half your face is blown off because of an IUD, God forbid. You got to get cosmetic surgery. That's fine. You don't want to go on life looking like Harvey Dent. I get that. But not because my boobies ain't that big. No. Not because I want to get my wiener turned into a vagina or I want to get a wiener attached to me. No. The government should not be paying for that. That is your choice, your decision. That's what they all keep saying. My choice, my decision. Then you need to pay for it. I should not be paying for this.
Yeah, and if they're concerned about the costs, I mean, you target the behavior, not the individual. Just remove specific procedures and medicine from coverage.
Now, conversely, I am actually against don't ask, don't tell. I think anybody should serve in the military as long as you're physically and mentally capable of performing your duties. You should be allowed to serve in the military, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identification. If it doesn't interfere with you doing your duties, you should be allowed to serve. Anybody should be allowed to serve with full benefits prescribed by law. No special treatments should be allowed. Let me stipulate that as well. Everything should be going. You should be treated just like any other soldier in the military. I am completely for that. But there is a part of me that also thinks this is also a backhanded thing, because I wonder if Pence is involved in any of this, because Pence is he doesn't like the gays.
No.
Mike Pence. And do you think he's involved in any of this at all?
No.
You think this is just Trump?
I think this is
his
just
people?
Trump.
What is he gaining from this? Is he gaining anything at all?
Well, he's gaining, the people that don't like transsexuals. He's gaining their support.
But it's not really a large minority, even in the Republican Party anymore.
I know.
I mean, I'm a conservative. I have no problems with them. You're somewhat of you identify someone as a conservative. You have no problem with them. I know I know Republicans who are trans. As weird as that is, I know trans LGBT Republicans. They exist.
Yeah.
It's weird, but
But then again, there's gay Muslims. How's that possible?
Yeah, that doesn't really work out that way. Gay Muslims, wouldn't you technically have to kill yourself?
Yeah, that's just committing suicide.
Yeah, well, maybe the more progressive Muslims. I'm just saying, and the gay Muslim, the Saudi Arabia stones the gays, don't they? Or is it the United Arab Emirates? Don't they still stone them?
Well, I know Saudi Arabia still does. There might be others as well.
Well, you also got the women over here who go over there to help out with ISIS, and they end up being turned into sex slaves.
Yeah, I'm watching that happen to a girl on YouTube now. It's gradually happening. I'm like, oh, here's her becoming Muslim, and she's getting more Muslim-y and making videos about how horrible she's misinterpreted Islam. And like, pretty soon, this girl's going to ISIS.
Wait, she's suing ISIS?
No, she's going.
Oh,
eventually.
Going to ISIS. Yeah. Wow, they really are trying to radicalize some of these liberals to going over there, and they end up being turned into slaves, because these women need to realize you don't have rights, and as a non-Muslim woman, you have even less rights than the Muslim women do.
Yeah, just some girl that not a really big following at all on YouTube, does videos about whatever, and suddenly, why I became Muslim, and like, oh, and she's becoming more and more like, just insane with it.
Yeah, it is getting, like, it's getting pretty nuts out there, personally. I think that, yeah, I know it's side topic, but yeah, the people... I'm
going to watch this girl go to ISIS in real time.
Well, I wonder if they're going to broadcast the live raping of her, too, on Facebook.
Yeah, right?
That happens now. I don't know. Is that against YouTube TOS? I'm not sure anymore. I don't know. We've seen weird shit on YouTube and Facebook in the last few years. Between people getting beat down. Also, YouTube's a little more on top of the ball than Facebook when it comes to the live streaming stuff. I mean, we get content flagged within like 10 seconds. Facebook, you get told beat down and still get that posted on Facebook for a couple days before they take it down.
Yeah.
They're a little behind on that. You need to up your game, Facebook. I'm just saying. But, yeah, I'm okay with Trump. I don't think a ban is the proper word we should use here. Trump's pretty much trying to force the hand of eliminating the law that says that they have to pay for sexual reassignment surgeries. If they get rid of that law, then in that point, yes, they should allow the transsexuals back into the military.
Well, I think they should just change the medicine without ever saying, no, don't ban any person.
And this law was only passed last year, by the way. This isn't something that's been on the books for like ever. This hasn't even been around as long as ACA's been around, which will take it forever to turn around. This has only been on the books since last year. There's no reason you can't just turn this around. I'm pretty sure there's a fairly small number of transsexuals in the military who are looking to get sexual reassignment surgeries. A very small number. What's the number of actual transsexuals in the military? I think it's less than 100,000.
Well, the number being touted lately is 15.
50,000?
But I don't... 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, you're a little more in with that community than I am. What's the percentage that actually go through with the surgery? Probably, what, 10%, would you say?
Of trans?
Yeah.
Like 50.
50? So, conservatively, we'll say what?
Well, it depends on, it's like 50 that were trans in adolescence. Only 50% of them remain with that transgendered identity in adulthood.
Well, how many go full op or actually get the surgery done?
I don't know the numbers.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but let's just say conservatively 10%. 10% is usually a good round number for about anything.
Okay, this other statistic of how many trans are in the military estimates between 1,300 and 6,600. That's a huge window.
Wait, between 3,000 and 6,000?
Between 1,300.
Oh.
And then 6,600.
That's hardly a statistic. Let's say 3,000 average. That's a good average there. So maybe what? Less than 1,000 people want to get this surgery done?
Yeah.
Even at that number, you can easily overturn that law, change the rules, and not affect many people at all. In fact, it's a minor thing in the grand scheme of things.
Like this article in Time states that only between 29 and 100 serving in active duty would seek out medical treatment. 29 and 100 of the 1.2 million active duty military.
We're making a big deal about 29 to 100 people.
Yes.
And in general, we're making a big deal about maybe 1,000 in the... How many are in the military, did they say? 1.1 million?
1.2 million active duty. Which
is actually, by the way, another statistic, that's actually the same number of people in the police force in the United States. 1.2 million. So the same number of people, so that's infinitesimal. And we're making a big deal about this.
Yeah.
Trump should just, Congress, change the law, fix it, let the trans serve. End of discussion. If they get mad that they wanted to serve because they wanted to get the surgery done, save your money up, pay for it out of your own pocket. That's, this isn't college. You're not getting a GI Bill out of this. You don't need a boob job, which that needs to go away. You shouldn't get any cosmetic surgery paid for by the government unless you're wounded in combat and it's a requirement, or it's something to fix the damage done in combat. And I'm sorry, sexual assignment surgery doesn't need to happen, period. That's all I got to say. Yeah. Any final thought on that?
No.
All right. So, topic 2, I want to talk about, my wife brought this up, crowdfunding. Now, you've done Patreon and stuff before, right? Quite often?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't, because I do my content for completely free. I don't care about the money. It's just not how I roll. But I have no problems with people who do it. You know, I respect Jowski. I respect several other people.
Well, I don't even do it anymore.
I know, but people who do it, I do respect. You know, Mike does it. Your friend, or Mr. X does it. I respect him for doing it. Josh does it. He provides content, and he used to do it too. A lot of other people do, and I have no problem with. But there are some people online who use this as a means in which to get money, and I consider it by ill-gotten gains. There's a lot of activists out there who get millions upon millions of dollars for doing this activist work. But where does this money go? Like people like Anita Sarkeesian's probably one of the bigger ones. She makes, what, a few $1 million off of GoFundMe or whatever she's a part of?
I think she was part of Patreon.
Yeah, but my thing is, has anybody ever looked, my wife brought this up the other day, has anyone ever looked at the taxes of these people? Isn't it income?
Point. It is, yes, and I know people that have been investigated by for not claiming that income. They've been investigated by the IRS, audited, and have faced consequences for not claiming that income.
Yes, there are people who have had that happen. But we got these people on YouTube, and these YouTube stars, and we got these activists online who get all this money, which I doubt they run a non-profit organization. I doubt they run was it a 401c? Is it the non-profit organization? I doubt they're not.
501c3.
501c3, right. But you can't run one of those and do what they do, really. You're not supposed to. Because there are certain limitations on you being able to use it as a political platform. To my understanding. There are limitations. And some of this other stuff needs to also stop with the Patreons and things like that, especially since we know there are content contributors out there, a lot of them, who don't have almost embezzled money from people. And this is an interesting thought I had. Technically, if you're giving this money to people through crowdfunding, are you not an investor in a way into these people?
Well, yeah.
Like you're investing stock into someone?
Well, it's also different between Patreon and GoFundMe. GoFundMe, you've given that money, it's gone. You do Kickstarter, you're an investor. But it's like with any investment, you're taking a risk of whether the thing you're investing will happen or not. Patreon, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, if you're donating this much per month, you get these perks. And it's up to them if you get the perks or not. And if they don't, then you just stop donating.
But should there be consequences for not doing so? I mean, at least with the Kickstarter, if you invest in something and you've gotten the funds that you're supposed to use for that, you don't use the funds for that goal, are you not embezzling money at that point?
There definitely should be consequences for that.
I mean, not to split hairs here, but that guy with the glasses is probably one of the bigger, well-known ones on the internet for that. They got what, 94? A lot of
controversy.
They got what, $90,000, and they were supposed to produce what, 50 episodes of the game show and like 50 episodes of that comic book show, and they didn't even produce like half of that.
They maybe did 3 episodes of the game show.
They did 10. They did 10. I watched them. I watched it, and they did do a comic book show, but that hardly was what their goal was originally towards, and that was ill-gotten in my mind. You just completely ripped off these people by doing that. And there's a lot of people out there who do that. There's games and stuff out there where people go, hey, we got we're going to make a game if you give us $200,000, we're going to make a game. And the game's never made. And these people never get their money back. Because the studio will close or fold.
But that is a risk you take when you invest into anything. You buy stock in a company and they fold, you're out. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Now, what if you didn't fold? What if you just took the money and didn't use it for what you said you were going to use it for? Should there be consequences for that one?
Yes, because that was an outright lie.
Do you think the government should get involved and start regulating these kinds of things?
They should, but I mean, they already do. Was that the SEC and everything?
I've never heard of anybody on Kickstarter or anything online ever getting hit by an SEC violation or being investigated. In fact, I don't even think there are SEC rules for this sort of thing yet. Yet. But I've never seen anybody. It's kind of surprising that no one's ever taken up this baton. But given that a lot of these activists work for these various political organizations and use this means to make their money, it doesn't quite surprise me that no one's done it, considering some of their largest, most vocal supporters use this as a way of funding their organizations.
Yeah.
It doesn't really surprise me, and that really needs to be stopped. And I really am getting tired of people putting up GoFundMes for stupid shit. Like the woe is me stuff. And then it's all over my Facebook feed like, my house burned down. I need money because I didn't buy insurance.
Now that's where you come into a fact where, you know, you're giving money to some stranger on the internet.
Yeah. But even if it's someone I know, I'm like, dude, you didn't get house insurance? There's stuff for that. Or, you know, I need to pay medical bills. We all have medical bills to pay, but we don't go and GoFundMe and beg and ask on the internet to pay for my medical bills. Or, you know, I'm broke. I need money. Here's a GoFundMe. Give me money. No, I'm not giving you money. What have you done for me? You know, I'll give money to people who... I gave money to you because you provided a live stream and content and stuff I enjoy doing. I'm not going to give money to some random person because you're bad with finances. That's not my responsibility. It's getting insane with these people using these things for things. But there are good ones in my mind. Did you see that Deep Space Nine documentary they're putting out?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. They raised, what, $600,000 for a documentary on Deep Space Nine with Ira Stephen Bear, the executive producer, involved with several cast members, no Avery Brooks, sadly. Plus, they're also using the extra money to digitally remaster and recreate some of the special effects for the show would look like an HD. To me, that's what this is about, is doing stuff for fans. And Super Troopers. Super Troopers 2 is completely funded by fan money. And you're getting a Super Trooper sequel because of that. Do you think we could see more movies funded this way in the future? Wasn't, what was the TV show that... Veronica Mars was this way too.
Spike Lee funded a movie this way.
Who Spike Lee did?
Yep.
Oh, was that how he did Chirac?
Huh?
Was that how he did Chirac?
No. This is how we did The Sweet Blood of Jesus, or whatever it is.
I haven't seen a Spike Lee movie in forever. How was it?
I didn't know. I haven't seen that one. I like Chirac, but... But this Kickstarter one I didn't see. The new MST3K was done through Kickstarter.
That's true. The new MST3K, which I'm not that big of a fan of, but, you know.
With the incredibly long credits as you watch every Kickstarter's name go by.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. I think that show is way too overproduced for Mystery Science Theater. I'm sorry. There is such a thing as having too much of a budget.
Yeah, but that's what the fans ended up paying. Did you want them to not spend it?
I would have been happier if they just made... maybe it's the nostalgia in me. Use the money to make the show look similar to the old show, but you use it to make more episodes. Instead of a house band. And hiring, like, name actors. Which you really don't need for Mystery Science Theater in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the Nerdist guys, but you don't need Felicia Day. You don't need Patton Oswalt.
Not Patton Oswalt, I don't mind.
I have serious issues with Patton Oswalt personally, but, you know, And Felicia Day, I don't really care much for in a professional.
Yeah.
And I liked her in Eureka. It was about the only thing I liked her in. And Dr. Horrible's video blog, but maybe because she dies in that. Spoiler.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all, though.
You didn't like Dr. Horrible? I figured that'd be right up your alley.
No.
Well, I think we need to start limiting stuff with the government does need. As much as I am a libertarian at heart, I do think the government needs to start putting some regulations on these internet investments per se.
I mean, if you gave money to the Nigerian prince, you'd want to see justice, right?
Yes, I would.
And they did. They would capture those scammers doing things like that.
Yeah, so why is it Billy Bob, who's supposed to make Blood Orchid the video game, I'm making some up here, who's supposed to get $200,000 to do it, gets the $200,000 and the day after closes the entire project? That's a scam. Or the ones that have
GoFundMe's under false pretenses.
That too. Or, yeah, I mean, luckily I don't give much to GoFundMe's and stuff because of that reason. I'm just a jaded son of a bitch because of that. I don't think there's a problem with that, but you know, that's just how
there's a guy that did a GoFundMe for I want to go make a potato salad, so you know, like $10, and he ended up getting like thousands because it went viral.
Didn't you do a few GoFundMe's as joke GoFundMe's, but you didn't take the money though?
I didn't even get money.
Oh
they
yeah,
were clearly jokes.
Well, I will say this, that I think GoFundMe and Kickstarter and a few of the others do have systems in place in which they know things are fake and will remove them.
There was one for, we need to get Matt Damon from Mars.
Yes, right. That made money.
It did, but it was said in there, you know, obviously this is parody. The money donated will go to this charity that Matt Damon set up that provides water for kids in sub-Saharan Africa.
I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, the comments in those are also some of the most classic ever, by the way. They really are. I'm pretty sure Shia LaBeouf's going to be hitting up Indiegogo or something to fund his next project. So I don't think he's going to be getting a job anytime soon.
All right, I got to run in real quick. I got to go for 5 minutes.
That's okay. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up? I think we covered everything here today.
All right.
All right. This was going to be a quick episode anyways. I just wanted to do something quick to cover these two topics I wanted to do off the bat. Jowski, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Jowski, where they can find you?
Facebook, Twitter at Alex Jowski.
Yeah, be sure to check that out. And be sure to check me out on Admiral Joker on Facebook. And soon, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a 4TW Live on Miyazaki movies. I'm actually catching up on them. I'm watching Nausicaa right now for the first time, or for the second time, but not the edited version, Nausicaa. The edited version is completely different.
Okay, I do got to go, though.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, I'll talk to you later, man.
Bye-bye.
Later.